Well, everybody, we're talking about Locksmith, one of my favorite rappers of all time, who came into the scene in 2009 with the Rare Form EP. Now, many hip-hop heads are biased. They think anything that is old school is automatically good, even though there were bad rappers ever since hip-hop has been invented. That biasness also had people think that any rapper who came out after 1999 is crap, unless an old school rapper says that they aren't, even though we have Jakata Motormouth and Locksmith to prove otherwise. And yes, I know, the 80s and 90s were the golden age in hip-hop. And after 2004, hip-hop went downhill bad. But there were bad rappers in the old school and good rappers in the new school. But this biased mind state that some hip-hop heads have are why hip-hop is still struggling and many good new school rappers are still underground. Locksmith is a master of multi-syllable rhyme schemes and wordplay, and he tackles real-world issues by giving good points without being preachy. Sometimes I don't agree with him, but he does it in such a skilled way that I still think it's good. He even calls out things that other hip-hop heads are too scared to talk about, like Kanye West saying slavery was a choice and the other stupid shit that he's done. He is a legendary artist who is still underground, like K-Rino, Samus, and Lazarus. I hope one day these great artists hit mainstream, because the hard work that they put into their product ends up making great music. So they do deserve a lot of respect. I know lyricism is the most important thing in hip-hop, not fame, but still, it'll be nice to be famous. I know I want my music to be famous, and if good rappers make up most of famous rappers, then hip-hop is saved. I did put Locksmith on many of my best year-end list videos, but he is nowhere perfect. No content creator is. One of his reoccurring flaws is doing something that I personally call overdosing on multi-syllable rhyme schemes. Now in hip-hop, using more than one syllable in a rhyme scheme is very important. Using just one makes for an awkward listening experience, like in Insane Clown Posse and Praz. Using two or more syllables in a rhyme scheme makes for a better flow and listening experience. You don't have to use a lot, just 2 or 3, that's fine. But there are times where the artist does go too far. What happens is they will care more about the number of multi-syllables than what they are actually saying, making any sort of sense, which makes the song sound like rambling nonsense. Even some of the greatest rappers of all time make this mistake. Eminem, Tech 9, the Notorious B.I.G. are legends that have fallen into this trap. I think a good example of this when it comes to Locksmith is his song Signs, where there are a few lyrics that fall into this trap, but he does start off pretty well.
Back from my hibernation where I've been waiting, I've been taking off from precaution and shaping off a layman.
Here he is saying he's back from break, which means he will no longer keep a safe guard like he was when he was on break, and will start shaping off his layman. A layman is basically a necklace that sits on the heart that shows a person's powers, and the powers that Locksmith is referring to is his lyrical ability.
Whimper, I write with a slight temper, put knife in a night templar.
Here he is saying this is the lyrical mayhem that I'm giving you when I'm only a little bit angry, so you don't really want to piss me off. And he does sound a little bit angry in his flow. Although I don't really know how he's going to stab a Knight Templar, a Catholic military order that hasn't been around since 1312.
Right genocide with pen and stride. I live and ride by these principles, let the gimmicks die. Switch sides, leaving the most bitter critic mystified.
Oh yeah, this is Lazarus, an amazing lyricist that really needs his flowers because he deserves to be in a spotlight for his skill, instead of Tom MacDonald and Young Thug.
To me like a property, abolish, he brought up our father from poverty, taught me and got me how to be a man with autonomy, at the chronomy, since a fetus and my mother's ultrasonography.
Now he's not just a rapper, he's also a doctor, which allows him to come up with a lot more wordplay and multis that other MCs really won't be able to use unless they put a lot of research into it.
Lyrics I spit too sweet, pop me a glipper's eye.
But that doesn't mean he doesn't use normal wordplay.
And get his high, Snoop Dogg on Lottie-Dottie.
That is very normal wordplay because many people have used I get as high as Snoop Dogg lyrics many times before. But it doesn't matter when you bring enough of your own unique lyrics.
This hunger in my belly like on strike my Gandhi. I'm making waves like Kawasaki jet skis down in Maui. And you just got gunned down by Doctor Who's hip hop's a hobby.
Now that is just ultimate dopeness.
Nah, my only hobby is homie.
And there are many lines like this at the start of each verse. It makes it seem like Locke and Lazarus are in a rap battle, which makes it fun.
I'm in Detroit like I'm Martin, Gina, and Tommy.
I'm in Detroit, like people in Detroit.
Come find me, I got the muzzle off.
Okay, I'll back off.
Every other cough is a coffin, I get the scoffing and...
Okay, wait, what? Every cough is a casket that you eat? What is that supposed to mean?
And often my homies push white girl like Andy Kaufman.
Alright, some clever lyrics to make me forget that confusion.
Daily deceased in between sheets like you and Isley.
Alright, sheets as wordplay for paper and cloth.
Back to me like frisbee, diss me or dismiss me. I'm ripping your back like a slip dispy.
Lazarus, that's a great way to come back from a verse. Glad you're back. Also using that medical wordplay I was talking about earlier.
You with a tongue twister like I just spit you a tornado.
How am I even supposed to react to something that is that dope?
I put a hole in your soul the size of a whole bagel.
That's not really a big object, so it's not that impactful, but I do see the multis.
Murder your whole label, willing and ready to close hang you.
How do you close hang someone? I know that you're trying to do a whole label wordplay, but it's confusing. But other than the few odd lyrics,
Yeah, but I read it, embedded, I bet it was vetted, you never could call me. Commonly, I'm an anomaly, I'm a new nominee, I'm an imam with this primacy,
I still give the song a 5 out of 5. The clever lyrics are good enough to look over those awkward lines, and Lazarus just kills it in the verses. The last few verses have amazing speed.